I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift just dropped the best music video she has ever done. I love the way that Taylor isn't holding back in mocking herself. I'm not even sure I've fully recovered from watching it, but I'm going to attempt now to decode some of it, because there is a lot to talk about. Now, some of this I figured out myself. Others I found scouring the web in various places, including Scammer Swift on Twitter, Entertainment Tonight, other Twitters, websites, whatever. People out there, you guys are smart, so this is a shout out to all of you who have posted stuff about this music video. Let's start at the beginning of this music video, where the whole opening just gave me some real thriller vibes with the zombie Taylor coming out of the tombstone that reads, "Here lies Taylor Swift's reputation." Out of the woods zombie Taylor is seen burying 2015 Met Gala Taylor, which could signify the beginning and the end of Taylor's 1989 era, and also the end of maybe her good girl reputation. The Met Gala took place in May 2015, and Out of the Woods was her last real music video from 1989. Sorry, New Romantics. And now we are in this reputation era. Also, if you have an eagle eye, the grave next to the one Taylor climbs out of reads Niels Sjoberg. Sjoberg? I don't even know how to say that, but it is the name Taylor used when she co-wrote the Calvin Harris Rihanna hit This Is What You Came For. Taylor is then in a bathtub full of diamonds, pearls, and jewels. Now, some are saying this is a reference to when she described her character in Blank Space, in which she said, quote, "She traps them and locks them in her mansion, and then she's crying in her marble bathtub surrounded by pearls." Others seem to think it's a reference to Kim Kardashian, who was in a bathtub when she got robbed in Paris, or put in a bathtub. It could also just mean Taylor is just swimming in wealth and flaunting it for people. I also saw someone say on one website it reminded them of this picture of Melania Trump, and could reference how Taylor stayed silent during the election. There's also a single dollar bill in the bathtub, which could reference Taylor's recent lawsuit that she just won against the radio DJ, where she only sued him for $1. We then have Taylor embracing all the snake imagery people threw her way after the whole Kim and Kanye fiasco. She's literally sitting on a throne on top of snakes, sipping tea poured by snakes. Literally queen of the snakes. I'm honestly hoping that all those snakes were CGI, because if she was really sitting among all those snakes, major props to you, Taylor, because that is literally one of my nightmares. The columns in that scene read "Et tu, Brute," which references Julius Caesar, which means "even you, Brutus," which is said during the scene in which Caesar is stabbed to death by his friend Brutus, and is used to express often treachery of a supposed friend. Now, this could reference people saying Taylor has treated her former friends badly, or maybe that she has a high friend turnover rate, or maybe how some of her friends didn't stand up for her amidst all the drama she's been through. Or it could be maybe some of the people she thought were her friends betrayed her by maybe favoriting Kim and Kanye tweets after the whole phone call thing. Since this is the snakes section, it could reference just how fences were on their way to being mended with Kim and Kanye, until Kim leaked the phone call when Taylor said she didn't approve of the famous lyrics. Hence, all the snakes. Moving on to the car crash scene. The car looks a lot like a fancy sports car, or maybe a Maserati, which could reference Taylor's song Red and that album. And with Taylor being all blinged out and supposedly riding high, we then see the car crash. Taylor's also seen holding a Grammy after the crash, so this could reference her maybe thinking she was a sure thing to win Album of the Year for Red at the Grammys, but she ended up losing to Daft Punk. Some people also think it's a reference to Katy Perry, since the way Taylor has her hair up in that ponytail and slanted forward looks like Katy with short hair. The car crash calling out maybe also to Katy's The One That Got Away video, and the fact that Taylor has more Grammys and Katy has none. The crash could also just be Taylor's reputation just crashing down. Next, we have Taylor swinging inside a huge birdcage with a snake tattoo on her thigh. Now, that snake tattoo could just be another reference to always being called a snake, but someone else I saw pointed out that the placement of the tattoo is very similar to where Kendall Jenner wore a fake snake tattoo for a magazine cover. The cage is surrounded by a bunch of bodyguards, maybe referencing that Taylor lives a pretty caged and protected life, something that we might think is perfect. On her dinner plate where she's eating lobster, there's also a rat, maybe referencing that people have said that Taylor looks like a rat, or maybe that she is a rat. Now, remember when Taylor pulled all her music off the streaming platforms and people called her maybe greedy and money hungry? Well, she gives that moment of her career a nod in this video as well, in a scene where she robs the bank. If you read the scrolling LED signs or the name on the vault, it reads Streamco, or Stream Company, referencing places like Spotify, and she's robbing their bank. Now, the robbers are wearing cat masks, which some people think is a dig at Katy, whose fans are called Katy Cats. I honestly just think it's a reference to her cats, which we all know she's obsessed with. Maybe a little too much? maybe not. Her sweater reads "Blind for Love," which I feel like is a shout out to how the media has portrayed her love life, her being blinded by love, falling in love with, every guy she supposedly dates. Taylor's also wearing an oversized sweater and thigh-high boots in the scene, which some have said could be a reference to the Jenners or the Kardashians, as it's a look often worn by Kylie and the family. Taylor then gives a nod to everyone who has basically made fun of her for having a squad by showing a sexy Taylor in a nod to Bad Blood, basically manufacturing new squad members, essentially creating a cult in a way, trying to say how women should look or act or whatever. And she actually looks really plastic in this scene, like a Barbie. Maybe plastic, shout out to Mean Girls?
You're plastic. Cold, shiny, hard plastic.
We then see Taylor in a room that gives off blank space vibes, flanked by 8 men wearing their I Heart TS shirts, which are a shout out to the shirt Tom Hiddleston wore during their 4th of July party. There's also 8 men, which are references to her 8 famous exes: Joe Jonas, Taylor Lautner, John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, Connor Kennedy, Harry Styles, Calvin Harris, and Tom Hiddleston. When Taylor enters the room, we see Todrick Hall with a clipboard, then the guys on phones popping up behind her. And the Scammer Swift Twitter thinks that this, plus the way that Taylor is in formation with the guys, reference to people who say that she uses men for success and all her relationships have been PR stunts. Later on, when this scene comes back, we also see her dancing, and she's actually not half bad at it in this scene. Maybe that's just kind of a jab at everyone who's made fun of her dancing and saying that she can't dance, even herself. Also, I just have to give a shout out to Todrick and all these male dancers, because I can't even walk or even stand in heels. They're legit walking, strutting their stuff, dancing, and just being fierce. So major props to all of those men. Quickly intercut between these scenes, there's a Taylor in a bloody outfit with a chainsaw cutting off the wing of the plane, and this kind of shows Taylor being destructive or maybe just ruining her image. Then new Taylor, wearing her new rep outfit, is standing atop a pile of all these old Taylors trying to climb up to her. These old Taylors include You Belong With Me Taylor, who has all the names of her so-called squad on her shirt, like Martha, Selena, Blake, and Ryan. There's We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together Pajama Taylor, Sparkly Dress with the 13 on the Hand Taylor, Circus Taylor from the Red Tour, Billboard Awards Taylor, ACM Awards Taylor, and many, 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 many more. Now, You Belong With Me Taylor even gets kicked in the face by the boots that Taylor wore on the cover of Vogue. Like, the amount of detail in this scene is incredible. Now, new Taylor, standing on this pile with all these old Taylors trying to crawl up to her on the top, kind of represents this new Taylor pushing all these old Taylors aside. It could also mean that Taylor never knows who she really is. Maybe she's having some kind of identity crisis. She's shown many faces throughout her career, but she might be perceived as doing whatever she can to get on top, or to even just keep topping herself. Now, Cheetah Walking Taylor can be seen walking away from a store branded with TS, which blows up, referencing Taylor maybe ruining her brand with all this drama she's had, or the things that she's done. One scene now I'm still confused by is this whole biker scene and her, lifting up the motorcycles. So if anybody has any ideas what that actually references or is a call out to, let me know. Taylor is then seen spray painting that pretty plane with Reputation, and then we end with my favorite scene, and I think the scene everybody's been talking about. All the old Taylors coming face to face with the new Taylors, and Taylor basically referencing all the things that have been said about her, all the things she's been made fun of, everything that's basically fueled everything that's become her reputation. We see 14 Taylors plus the bloody Taylor on the plane wing, making 15. We have all the Taylors from Reputation video plus Red Tour Circus Taylor, Sparkly Dress Speak Now era Taylor, 2009 VMA Taylor, 2015 Met Gala Taylor, You Belong With Me Taylor, Zombie Out of the Woods Taylor, and Swan Shake It Off Taylor. Taylor rips on her infamous surprised face. Zombie Taylor gets offended being called a bitch, referencing maybe the Kanye West famous lyric where Kanye says he made that bitch famous, or the notions that Taylor is just a bitch. Circus Taylor calls Speak Now Taylor out for being fake and how she can't always be nice all the time, taking a jab at Taylor always being portrayed as the sweet, innocent pop star who can't do anything wrong. Biker Taylor calls out that Taylor for playing the victim again, which references all the times people have said Taylor's played the victim in all the drama and feuds she's had. Cheetah Taylor is getting receipts of everything, filming it on her phone, which could reference Katy Perry's Swish lyrics, in which she sings "Karma's not a liar, she keeps receipts," and that song's rumored to be about Taylor, but I'm guessing that isn't really what this is about, because I'm pretty sure Taylor probably wrote this song before Swish Swish even came out. So it is more likely a reference to the whole Kim posting the Taylor and Kanye phone call on Snapchat, aka bringing out the receipts, and then Taylor is heard saying, "I'm gonna edit this later," referring to the fact that only part of the phone call was put out, and some people think that Kim could have edited the phone call. VMA Taylor then says, "I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative," which is how Taylor signed off her response to the whole Kim-Kanye phone call drama on Twitter. All the Taylors then tell her to shut up, implying basically everyone is tired of hearing about all the Taylor drama and her talking about it and everyone talking about it in general. Phew, okay, that was exhausting. Okay, so those are a mix of the things that I picked up on, mixed with all the things I found you guys talking about on Twitter and the interwebs. Did I miss something? Did I misinterpret anything? Did you interpret something in a different way? Leave me all your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Tweet them to me. Let me know your favorite moments from the video. Also, what you think that whole biker scene is about. And then what do you think Taylor's really trying to get across in this whole video and song? After that, you can click right over here for my rundown of the best VMA moments. And if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and we can geek out about Taylor more together in the future. Until next time, I'm Lisa. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.